Hey everyone, it's Naomi and welcome to the Firecracker Department After Show. This is where we all come together, the core members, the community members of the Firecracker Department, and we talk about past podcasts and what resonated for us and what jazzed us and what's our jam, all those things. We've got here today Nadine Brito, who's in Toronto, and she's in charge of the writing department and hosts a weekly writing workshop, which is super fun online. Then we've got Emily Churchill, who's in the wellness department, and she also produces the after show, and she is in Los Angeles. And we've got AJ Edmonds, who is in Toronto, sometimes Los Angeles, and she edits this beautiful after show, but she also does content creation, brand kit development, hula hoop experimentation. Oh my gosh, she does everything possible. Today we are talking, I had so much fun with this conversation with Karen Graci. Karen, you will know from the National Touring Company of Second City in Chicago, but she also is an amazing writer, and she has been involved with the critically acclaimed Netflix comedy Tuca and Birdie, starring Tiffany Haddish and Ali Wong. She's also written for the Netflix comedy Girl Boss and co-wrote the Hulu drama Blue, starring Julia Stiles. She's just also such a force of positivity and creativity. It was an absolute treat to spend time with Karen Graci. Tell me what you thought about this chat that I had. Emily, what about you?
Yeah, I loved that she said, I didn't realize I was making decisions for my life. And like when she said that, I was like, oh God, yeah, that's true. Like you don't realize you're making these decisions until afterwards. You're like, oh, that's what brought me here. Okay.
Yeah.
It was very interesting. I loved it.
Yeah, I don't know the things until I know the things, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. AJ.
I love like off of what Emily was saying. It's like that. I didn't know I was making decisions. I'm such a calculated person. I always know when I'm making decisions. I'm like, I wish I could be more like these like cool cat ladies that are just like, was that a decision? Let me follow this. Like it's such a great like follow the flow of the energy
Yeah.
instead of try and make the energy to flow.
That's such a good, yeah, that's a good, and Karen is such a positive flow of energy. Like just from my
Yeah,
chat with
I
her, I
was
was like,
smiling the whole time.
I just want to be in any room with her, whether it's like a chat room or a writer's room or any kind of room, because I think she just, it's something we talk about with Firecracker Department. It's having the strategy of positivity, because otherwise, what are we doing? We're making comedy based on stress. That's never going to work. Nadine, did anything resonate for you?
Yeah, I really liked when she sort of just talked about what else am I going to be doing if I'm not doing this? Like that really resonated with me because it's just sometimes when I'm just really thinking I should go and do something else or try and do something else because there's a challenge or it's really hard, then I start being like, oh, it'd be easy to, just be a doctor or a lawyer. It's all laid out for you. And then it's like, no, it would not be, but also I would hate it so much. And this is the only thing, that I can see myself doing. And just her articulating that was great to hear.
I love that you think the easy route is
I
becoming a
know.
doctor.
Exactly.
But I also think, don't you think, like, we if we were in another profession, we'd be equally as
Mhm.
driven, equally as like wanting success and things like that. The only difference is here we have to make it ourselves sometimes. Like
Exactly.
doctors aren't like, maybe I'll start my own doctor's office in my home and
Mhm.
invite people to have surgery. That's not going to happen, is it?
Mhm.
Can you do that? Should I start a different? Emily, what else? What else resonated?
I love that she said you have to plant a million seeds in LA. And I think that's actually anywhere in the business. I don't think it's specifically for LA, but it's so true. Because if just thinking about our lives that we've lived thus far being in the entertainment industry, yes, there's so many seeds that have been planted and we're just like, whoo. I mean, I don't even think of them growing now, but I'm just hoping one of
Oh
them
my God.
sprouts. Yeah.
Does anybody here plant, like actually garden? Like I found that so satisfying doing some gardening because I actually could see things grow. Although I did choose a lot of cactuses and things that were easy and weeds that I'm like, oh, that's for sure gonna grow.
I killed the only cactus I ever had.
Man,
Oh,
it's a sign you need to
I've
write.
killed so many desert plants. My life isn't even uninhabitable for a plant that requires next to no care. That's how
Yeah.
I felt. Remember when I
I'm
first
getting
killed one, I was like, all right, well, that's the energy I'm putting out in the world.
I'm getting you all chia pets for Christmas.
Oh, that'd be great.
Good
and
call.
see how that goes. AJ, what else did Karen talk about?
The family aspect of it was really, really interesting as well. I all the advice you get growing up in the arts is like, don't marry somebody that is also in the arts. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
And I loved her being like, we think about that all the time.
Yeah.
Like, why did we marry
we
each
do
other?
this?
Why did
But
we
they
do this?
have like a really good balance,
Yeah.
like work and how to share when somebody's working, when somebody isn't.
But
My
she also,
first husband wasn't an actor, and people would be like, "Oh, he's not an actor. Good for you. Good for you." Like, as if like it wouldn't have worked otherwise. Well, it didn't work anyway, but yeah.
they're like, people say that to me about Curtis. They're like, yeah, you deserved someone that wasn't in your industry. And I was like, yeah, it's nice. But that also means like he doesn't have a freaking clue. And I'm sitting here like, when I'm dealing with, he's like, is that a real problem you're dealing with? I'm like, yeah, I can't get this program to work to edit this, and I need to get it to this person there. He's like, is that really something you're facing? I was like, if you knew my world, this would be not wasting oxygen.
Yeah.
Please
Yeah.
see yourself out.
Yeah.
Back away from my couch. The one thing I liked hearing her talk about was, sometimes you have to get over the fact that you don't have a lot of time for self-care. Especially as you grow and you have family, and like we put so much of an emphasis right now being 2020, on self-care and focusing on yourself. But there is the realistic nature of, you have to provide, and you have to sacrifice parts of yourself to ensure that your children or your spouse, or your extended family are able to survive. And she just does it with such a beautiful grandeur to her that was selfless and self-caring in its own way, in the way I heard it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Any final thoughts from you, Nadine or Emily? Nadine.
Yeah, to sort of go off that, yeah, when she talked about just learning to not be so hard on yourself and forgiving yourself, I think that's so important, because I think at the end of the day, people really, they don't think about themselves. They're thinking about all the things they can do for everyone else and letting that happen. And then you start just getting really mad that you haven't done enough, or you feel you haven't done enough. And I think that just acknowledging that you are doing what you can do is really important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear that. Emily, final thoughts?
Okay, my final thought, underlined twice, is crying on the 405. I wrote it down and I underlined it because I'm like, I do that all the time. If people don't know, the 405 is our big freeway in LA. From here to Santa Monica, I live in Glendale, and from here to every time, panic, got to go to the bathroom, crying every time on the 405. So I was like, oh, someone else is also crying on
I think
405.
it's more unusual to not look over and see somebody that's not crying. Like I would say
That's
more
true.
often than not, if you drive along, you see somebody, they're probably like bawling for some
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah, I agree. I've cried on the 405.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. I
See?
mean, no, that's not good, but I feel
Well,
like
no, it's good.
my
I think it's a
partner.
cathartic experience. I mean, you're going to go on the 405 and have to sit there for an hour to go what is essentially 10 minutes. So you may as well get the cry out. You've got time.
That alone makes you want to cry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Anything else, Emily, before we wrap up?
that's all I've got. She's amazing.
I know. I so
Yeah.
love her. AJ, any final thoughts?
No, she was just such a spark.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, don't you love how she like give props to her people too? Like just like recognizing the people that have helped her along the way. I just love this generation of people that are sort of like giving each other a leg up. I think it's really, really special. Speaking of legs, where are
Yeah.
your legs taking you these days in your world? What are you working on in Project Land?
Okay. Yeah. Well,
AJ.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Emily.
AJ,
Don't
go
go,
ahead.
Emily.
Oh God.
Emily, you go.
Well, I'm in a little duo here called Friends on a Bench, and we are launching our website, and we're going to be putting out all the Friends on the Benches that we've done, the shorts, and it's super fun. Just two ladies on a bench talking.
I can see it now. I can see it now. Nadine, what about you?
I'm doing some writing and also hosting the weekly writing bursts with the Firecracker Department's writing department. So everyone should come to that.
Yeah, it's super fun. It's really low stress. The stakes have never been lower. We just write for an hour based on prompts that Nadine has prepared, and It's a great group of people. It's building every week, and it's really fun to be part of. AJ.
I am working on my first ever acting reel.
Yeah, you are.
Stay tuned for me asking everyone for their opinions. And I did a 30-day writing challenge in June, and only now am I gaining the strength to actually open that file and go back and read all of them. So we had to write 30 short stories in 30 days, and I got through it. I think there are like 5 that I will do something with, and then there's 25 that can just sit there and take up hard drive space.
I love it. I love that you're just doing that, even like just setting yourselves a challenge. It's good. It's good to do.
I need someone. I operate on shame.
Yeah.
Like Brene Brown. Brene Brown would be really upset with me saying that out loud, but I do. I need to know that if I don't do something, someone's going to be like, "Well, failed yourself, didn't you?"
Is that shame or is that accountability?
I mean,
Anywho. I did a movie last summer called Work It that's coming out on Netflix in August. So I'm excited to see. I'm playing the mother of the dancer girl. It's a dancing movie, so if you like to dance, this is for you. And speaking of things for you, firecrackerdepartment.com is where you're going to find out all the information about all the things we have going on. Firecracker DEPT is our social media handles. And, we'd love to have you at the Firecracker Department table. So pull up a chair, join in one of the things that we've got going on, and be part of our community. Thanks so much. Thanks to Karen Graci, too. What a great chat. Go check out all our podcasts wherever you find your podcasts. Bye, gal. Mwah.